My name is Jen Kuba. I'm currently the project archivist at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in the Archives and Special Collections. For the last year, I've been implementing the open source software program Archon for the archives. And Archon is the first open source system I've actually ever used. I've only been exposed to proprietary software programs, so this was a pretty unique situation for me. It was a lot of fun to see how open source works and how you can build it up. Today, I'm simply going to walk through several slides that convey the process of implementing Archon at the archives. And I'm doing screenshots because we're 95% there. We're not live yet, and I couldn't gain access remotely to the system. So bear with me, but it should be going live in a couple of weeks. The first question that we asked ourselves before we did this was, where are we with providing access to our collections and where do we want to go? And this slide shows three collection examples of where we were. We have a really nice website now, but each collection exists in a silo. We've got some in XML, we've got some in HTML, we've got some that were in Word and we converted them to PDF. So searching across collections was not an option. In 2010, as part of my internship at RPI, I began converting some of our smaller finding aids into XML in Oxygen and marking them up in EAD. But after about 10 manually marked up collections, we really gave that up because it's labor intensive and we weren't interested in spending the resources on doing that. So we investigated our options and we wanted a system that individually marked up finding aids, and we didn't want to invest a lot of money in a program, so we chose Archon. We were already using Genie and Digitool, which require contracts and vendors and a lot of money. So we decided to go with Archon. And after discussing Archon with our systems administrator, we had received approval for server space and we entered the open source world. So I just want to explain what Archon is. Does anyone know what Archon is? Okay. So Archon is a unified platform for archival description and access created by the University of Illinois. It's open source software, so it's free. You just need LAMP-based server space, which is Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Archon is geared toward archivists and manuscript curators. I've seen it implemented with museums, libraries, archives, nonprofit or profit, it doesn't really matter. Archon supports access to accessions information, audio-video, photograph collections, library collections, manuscript and archival records, LC subjects and creators. And the best part is end users can search across all of your collections. They can easily navigate the digital objects that you include, all of the inventories and creators and subjects. And you can print. You can print a finding aid, and sometimes I've seen that a problem. So this is great that we can offer this. So some important aspects of Archon, and this is specific to the administrators. Consistent presentation. The presentation is customizable. Archon is standards compliant, and when I say that, I mean describing archives, which is a content standard that archivists would use. Is anyone an archivist besides Phil? Okay. So we call it DAX. All right, just describing archives. You can also link subjects and creators to collections and digital objects. We can track locations. That's a big thing in archives. We want to know where all of our collections are. And inside the system, you can link to external URLs. And of course, the best part is you can export anything you enter into EAD. Oh, export EAD and then move it into another center system. That's down the road, we're not there yet. We're just entering the collections. So how did we do it? We had a really small team. The first part was that we got approval. That was easy because it was free. We have an automation archivist, a project archivist, a systems administrator, metadata librarian, student worker, the Archon forum, of course, and it required a lot of research and analysis of the system, and we also had to go through and really analyze the structure of our finding aids. That was actually probably the most labor-intensive process because not every finding aid has been created in the same way. Okay. I knew this would be small. I apologize. So I have my pointer rather than the mouse. So this is the administration view of Archon. You know, after you download the program, it's a simple, your systems administrator sets everything up so you've got passwords. You just go into the administrative view and you can just start building collections. And I really need to pay attention to my slides or else I'm going to forget what I'm talking about. So I wanted to show this side right here. This is the most important aspect for the administrator in Archon. But what I'm going to focus on is this right here. It says collections, just so you know. But Archon supports the administration section, which is the first one. It has an accessions manager, so you can keep track of your accessions. We don't use that because we want to keep that information private. Otherwise, it will be in the public view, and we're not there. Audio, video, collections, which is what I'm going to take you through. Creators down here, digital library, and subjects, so you can, consult your LC subject categories. So, next, I'm going to back up. Imagine I'm using this slide. I'm clicking the collections manager. So the next view would be all of these collections, which I've already built into the system. So this gives us our collection list. On the top, and this is standard for every view that you see, you've got, you can add a collection, so you would just simply click new. You can save a collection, and you can accidentally delete a collection. And if you go in somewhere, you don't need to be there, you can just click cancel. The reason why you can see public view, edit collection content, and export EA in this view is because I had already been in there, so it automatically comes up. But where I'm going to take you very quickly is just along this section here. These are the main tabs. Those are the tabs where you actually build your collection. So after browse, we're going to choose a collection. I've chosen the Philip Walter Henry papers. And this is the general view that you get. This is where you start building your collection content. So general view is what's the title of the collection, what repository. Now you can share these collections across repositories, so we just have our PI in here. Collection identifier, etc. Going across, this is probably the most important section, its description. This is your scope and content note. This is your arrangement. This can be where you create a biography, but we're not entering the biography in here. We discovered a little quirk in the system that we can't fix. We need Illinois to fix it. And it's that if you enter the biography here and you then attach a creator in the creator manager and have a biography there, your biography shows up twice in your public view, which doesn't look good. So it took us a few collections to realize that was a mistake. And moving across, we have location. So this is, of course, where we keep track of the locations of all of the collections. Again, and I skipped restrictions and other information. This particular collection doesn't have that information, so it's blank. Related materials, the only thing we have in here is just the citation. So in the public view, if someone's using your collection, they know how to credit you. And then next over is finding the info. This is where you actually specify what rules you've used. Now we use DAGs. Another repository might specify AACR2 or IZAG or another one that's called Rules of Archival Description, known as RAD. And revision history, and of course the collection is written in English. Okay. Give me 1 second, please. All right, so next. After you build that collection manager information, you move back out to the collection link. You move down deeper into the collection content. That's where you actually start building your hierarchy. And I just have this quick view. I had already started to build the series levels. And the next view is going to dig deeper into the collection. I am showing you series, subseries, box, and then folder. So that in an archival collection, you just keep digging deeper down into the layers of the collection. I just wanted to make that point. On this slide, I'm just noting that title here, biographical and genealogical information, is that is folder number 1. And what Archon does, it maps out to EAD. So these little question marks on the side, if you click them, you automatically know, okay, this is the title, so this is going to map out to the EAD element, which is called the unit title. And I think my next slide, okay, good. This is what EAD, when you export it, looks like in a browser. It's kind of messy, actually. And we wouldn't just click export and then voila, we have, EAD. There's a lot of cleanup involved in this. But I wanted to show you this. This is why we stopped marking them up manually. It's so much easier to enter the data into the forms and then have them exported secondarily. Not doing it first. This would be painstaking. I've experienced it. The next view here, this is the public view. So I was showing you the back view. That's the part that the administrators are responsible for. This is what the public is eventually going to see. Now, every finding aid in this system has an introduction page. Very simple. It shows you the scope and content notes, title of the collection, and then in each section here, you can actually expand these to get more information. But I'm going to pretend to click the detailed description so you can get an idea of what the whole finding aid looks like. So again, it tells you the title, and if you notice there are these little pencil marks, I meant to do a screenshot of the public view. This is actually the public view through the administrative section. So when I'm in this view, I can actually, it's nice, I can click each section and alter it individually rather than having to go back into admin and start the process all over again. And because I had to split these screens up, this is the bottom half of the finding aid itself. And so again, when I showed you that folder earlier, and my little arrow got messed up, but it meant to be pointing at that folder. So now you can see how that translates visually into the public view.